Tonight, a downward trend. COVID cases are heading in the right direction in Minnesota. The reason health officials say we might not be out of the woods. And Biden blasts Trump over the vaccination rollout as Congress remains gridlocked over increased stimulus payments. Plus, another round of snow moves into the region, causing slick roads and messy conditions. Dave's tracking the system for us tonight.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Anthony Mack. Kristen is off tonight. Thanks for joining us. Over the last month, the state of Minnesota saw a downward trend in coronavirus cases. This comes after Governor Tim Walz put new restrictions in place on November 20th. But as we know, the Northland has been behind the curve when it comes to COVID-19 trends in the state. CBS3's John Cardinelli spoke with the St. Louis County health expert to find out if the county is also seeing a drop in cases.
St. Louis County health experts are impressed with the county's response to COVID-19.
Our case numbers are going down, which is a really good thing.
According to the St. Louis County dashboard, when the governor's orders went into effect on November 20th, the 7-day average was 230 cases a day. As of December 22nd, it's down to 71 a day. County Health Director Amy Westbrook says the orders restricting indoor dining and community help both played a role in the decrease.
Maybe people were taking a little bit more caution and notice of the increase in community transmission.
While case numbers are down, there are still areas of concern.
We're still seeing outbreaks in long-term care settings. We're still seeing our deaths increase, not as dramatically as we were a couple weeks ago. So hopefully they'll be coming down.
With the vaccine now rolling out, the county is optimistic. Westbrook says they're planning an educational campaign to make everyone comfortable.
We're working with the College of Pharmacy and the Minnesota Extension and trying to tailor some information about the vaccine for that specific purpose.
With numbers seeming to be on a downward trend, the county is asking everyone to help slow the spread with the end in sight.
Westbrook says case rates are dropping across the county, not just in one specific area. The investigation into a shooting in Duluth Central Hillside neighborhood continues tonight. It happened near Lake Avenue and 4th Street this afternoon. At least one person was shot multiple times and was treated at a Duluth hospital. No word tonight on the patient's condition, if a suspect is in custody, or if the two knew each other. Meanwhile, a warrant has been issued after the fatal shooting of a 16-year-old on the Fond du Lac Reservation. It happened early Monday morning, and tonight authorities say they've issued a second-degree manslaughter warrant for Joseph Forencam. We're told he may be armed, and if you see him, to call 911. Switching gears and looking at the weather now, here's a live look at the roads up near Central Entrance near Highway 53. You can see some pretty wet snow falling on the windshield of our Sky I-3 there. Roads covered slightly in snow, and we'll head over to Dave now to talk a little bit more about what we're seeing out there. Dave, is that going to continue throughout the night here, what we're seeing on the screen there?
Yeah, I think it's going to snow in Minnesota and much of Wisconsin till about 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. And for parts of the snow belt, well, that's backed up a little bit. Now it isn't probably going to go until noon. It may wrap up around 9 a.m. So we look at our winter weather advisory, which indeed shows that the Minnesota-Wisconsin side of life has the advisory till 6 o'clock in the morning, and towards the snow belt it'll last until 9 o'clock. So that's been shortened by about 3 hours, but we're still looking at about 3 to 6 inches of snow over much of the area here as our low pressure system continues to plod by. The bulk of the snow, the heaviest of this snow, has been going from Iowa now into Illinois and southern parts of Wisconsin. So we're just on the northern edges, and we're not getting as much as we could. And since Guile got 18 inches from last week's blizzard, you know, I think some towns are well stocked on snow. Others are catching up on the totals, and of course, since winter tourism is such a big deal for our region, hopefully the snow turns into white gold for the new year. Here's our Wednesday day planner. Still a 40% chance early on tomorrow morning for a little more snow, but then it starts to wrap up. Mostly cloudy by lunchtime. Top temp at 20 with a partly cloudy sky later on tomorrow afternoon, setting us up for a sunnier period, and not a bitterly cold one either. It will be fairly mild, reasonably mild for a couple of days. I'll show you how mild and for how long coming up in a few more minutes.
All right, thanks, Dave. Both Minnesota and Wisconsin launched new dashboards to track COVID vaccinations today. The data shows about 38,000 doses have been administered in Minnesota so far. They're mostly Pfizer's vaccines. Most of the Minnesotans vaccinated at this point are between the ages of 18 and 49. Meanwhile, in Wisconsin, they've vaccinated more than 47,000 people. Wisconsin's data does not show age ranges. However, most doses have been Pfizer. We have a link to both dashboards on our website. As frontline healthcare workers receive the COVID-19 vaccine, county officials are finding ways to safely distribute more doses. CBS3's Kendall Jarbo explains the unique approach Carleton County is taking to protect everyone giving and receiving the shot.
Distributing the COVID vaccine while staying socially distant is a challenge, especially in December.
We knew, we could be getting the COVID vaccine in the middle of winter, and so an outdoor drive-through with the weather was, up in the air about how that was going to go.
Carleton County took their distribution to the transportation building. Cars into the garage, doors are closed to keep the building warm, and workers administer the vaccine.
However, some of the similarities are they can stay in their vehicle the entire time. You just need to roll the window down. Everything aside from receiving the shot itself is contactless.
Tuesday's vaccine distribution was exclusively for emergency medical services, equipping them with a defense against the virus.
You think about it all the time. We're running over 300 calls a year, and you're around medical issues all the time, and you don't know what's COVID, what's not. You don't know where you're going to run into it. And it's out there, it's everywhere. So it's just another measure of safety that we have now.
Giving frontline workers peace of mind.
Knowing that you're much safer going to these calls and being able to help the rest of the people really is rewarding.
For Carleton County, vaccine distribution marks another step down the pandemic's long road.
It's super exciting to be able to start vaccinating our community, and we just really can see the light at the end of the tunnel. And each clinic we do, we're just inching our way closer to the end of COVID. So it's really an exciting time.
Carleton County vaccinated nearly 100 EMS workers today. They want to do a public drive-through clinic when they receive more doses of the vaccine. Nationwide vaccine distribution is lagging, with just about half of the doses President Trump promised by the end of the year shipping out. President-elect Joe Biden is vowing to change that as the coronavirus infection rate across the country skyrockets. CBS's Skylar Henry is on Capitol Hill, where lawmakers continue to wrestle over additional stimulus money for struggling Americans.
President-elect Joe Biden is promising to ramp up the country's vaccination effort to 1 million shots a day.
The Trump administration's plan to distribute vaccines is falling behind. I've directed my team to prepare a much more aggressive effort.
President Trump responded on Twitter. It's up to the states to distribute the vaccines once brought to the designated areas by the federal government.
I understand there are 2 bills at the desk.
On Capitol Hill, Senate Majority Leader McConnell blocked a vote on the House-passed Cash Act, which would give $2,000 stimulus checks to millions of struggling Americans.
We should not adjourn until the Senate holds a vote on both measures.
Electronic payments of the $600 checks already approved by Congress could go out as soon as Tuesday, with paper checks in the mail to follow on Wednesday.
The U.S. has recorded more than 1 million new COVID-19 cases in just the past week. More than 121,000 people are now hospitalized with COVID-19 in the U.S., the most since the pandemic began.
There's going to be a breaking point, and I just don't know when that'll come, and when it does, it's catastrophic.
Stay-at-home orders have been extended indefinitely in most of Southern California, where ICU beds remain scarce. One hospital is now treating patients in what was its gift shop. And a Colorado man in his 20s with no travel history is the first known person in the U.S. to be diagnosed with a new, potentially more contagious strain of coronavirus, first detected in the U.K.
Despite hesitation among Senate leaders, Representative Pete Stauber voted Monday to increase the stimulus check dollar amount. Minnesota's 8th District Congressman was one of 44 House Republicans to vote in favor of the increase. Stauber says relief is needed by hundreds of thousands of Minnesota families.
We have a governor that shut down our state and really took the livelihoods away from so many working families that there are so many Minnesota families that are hurting because of the wall shutdown that this is needed money for them.
Congressman Tom Tiffany, a Republican representing Wisconsin's 7th Congressional District, voted against increased stimulus money. If the bill eventually passes through the Senate, it would then go to President Trump's desk for a final signature. More help is on the way for families and small businesses in Michigan. Governor Gretchen Whitmer announced a $106 million relief bill today. The bipartisan legislation will allocate $56 million to be given to small businesses. $46 million will be given to people who have been laid off, and $3.5 million will be given to music venues. She still believes the federal government needs to pass a larger stimulus bill.
On Sunday, the president signed a COVID relief bill that provides some support for Michigan's unemployed workers. Once again, I want to urge the federal government to pass a bill that includes $2,000 in stimulus checks for American families. It's the right thing to do.
Whitmer also has extended unemployment benefits through the end of March. Still to come on Live Local CBS3, many of us wish we could forget 2020 altogether. How music is helping one family make positive memories in this trying time. Coming up next.
21 years ago tonight, we partied like it is 1999 because on this date then, 46 degrees was the record high. Today, much cooler than that. 10 below was the morning low in Duluth. It hit 25 below in Hibbing, but temperatures are warming as our snow comes down. We'll talk about how long both trends will stick around coming up right after our break.
The Kelly Clarkson Show, weekdays at 3 on CBS3.
The nursing program at Fond du Lac Tribal and Community College is really challenging, but it has to be. It's approved by the Board of Nursing. And graduates here have been successfully passing the state board exam. They give you real-world experience with healthcare institutions across the community. I'm really glad I chose Fond du Lac Tribal and Community College.
Took down the tree. That means it's time to put 2020 in the rear view and get to the final days of the Ford Built for the Holidays sales event. It's your last chance for our best offers of the season across the Ford lineup. So hurry in today. The Ford Built for the Holidays sales event ends soon. During the final days, get over $5,000 in total cash on a new Escape. That's over $5,000 total cash only at your Northland Ford dealers.
Hi, I'm Dr. Nick Van Dielen, Chief Medical Officer at St. Luke's. While the holidays might feel a little different this year, they can be just as magical. Let's take this time to enjoy the small things that make this season so special, and maybe even discover some new traditions. Thank you for everything you've done and continue to do to keep our community safe. From all of us at St. Luke's, have a safe, happy, and healthy holiday season.
Mining. It's a part of Minnesota's history that affects everyone in the Northland still to this day. From environmental issues to economics and so much more. Join me, Kristen Bakke, every Tuesday for Eye on Mining, a fair and unbiased report that answers the tough questions surrounding the world of mining.
Eye on Mining with Kristen Bakke. Tuesdays at 10 only on Live Local CBS3. Brought to you by Iron Mining Association.
Haberman here from Discover Wisconsin. Join me and the rest of the crew every week on this station for all things Wisconsin. Continue the adventure on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and discoverwisconsin.com. Plus, subscribe to the Cabin Podcast, available wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.
I chose a career that isn't easy, it's dangerous, and it's hard. Fond du Lac Tribal and Community College has set me up with everything I need to succeed. Through challenging classes, longer defensive tactics training, and instructors who work in the industry, Fond du Lac Tribal and Community College is setting me up for success.
Watch Jeopardy! At 4:30, followed by CBS3 Live at 5 on Live Local CBS3. Now, the CBS3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Well, let's start with road conditions. Of course, the low pressure system coming through the area has knocked things down, especially in Minnesota. The yellow indicates snow-covered and slippery. The blue here in northern Minnesota, numerous but scattered slippery stretches. Into Wisconsin, well, Wisconsin 35 is starting to become snow-covered. Much of the rest of the state, though, still holding on to some good conditions, though it gets a little more tenuous towards the upper peninsula. But even Highway 2 and 63, 53 and 13 are going to be covered by snow as the night goes on because it's a 70% chance of snow coming through. Of course, that chance is paid off for just about everybody here in the region. It could continue through early tomorrow morning. We'll show you a chart on how much is expected in just a bit. But here's a live look at downtown Two Harbors, where the snow sure has come across. The roads are snow-covered and a bit slippery, so travel cautiously if you got the overnight shift at one of the mines and you got to make a run to Mintac. Places like that as an Ely boy. I remember a lot of my friends having to do that. Getting close to 11, got to hit the road. All right, hitting the airport right now are these current conditions. 18 for a temp, 84% for the relative humidity with a southeast wind 14 miles per hour. 29.97 is the barometric pressure, and that's starting to go down, of course, as our low pressure system works through the region. But by tomorrow afternoon, higher pressure will take over once again and clear us up for the start of the new year. Current temps are in the upper teens for the Upper Peninsula, and we're looking at a range of 19 to 21 going on here in northern Wisconsin. 19, for example, in Superior, 21 towards La Pointe and Bayfield, Red Cliff. Even Herbster have to be pretty close to that. Getting into Minnesota, we're running a range of 14 to 26 around the area. Of course, the 26 is right by the lake in Grand Marais, and the teens for the rest of the region. Overnight low temps tonight for most towns should be in the teens, even some 20s for a couple of places perhaps because of cloud cover, so it won't be bitterly cold like it was this morning. And then once our low pressure system leaves, this time around we're not getting an Arctic outbreak coming in behind the departing low. It'll stay fairly mellow through the weekend, near normal, around 20 above. Current Doppler map shows that low pressure system bringing snow to most places in Minnesota at this hour, including the head of the lakes, northwestern Wisconsin, and into the UP. And it's not really heavy, and it's not like a blizzard like last week, but it's persistent. It's been going for several hours now. We'll go for several more hours. And so by the time it leaves Minnesota tomorrow morning around 8 o'clock, and Wisconsin and the UP here by 9 o'clock in the morning, our snow totals, well, from the Iron Ranges to the Canadian border could run about 2 to 4, and then 3 to 6 for the rest of the region. But on the bright note, if you make a living shoveling or plowing, well, this will probably help you out. And if you got a motor toy or some skis for Christmas, you got more fun coming your way for that too, to enjoy for the holiday weekend coming our way, which, like I mentioned, we'll see this low pressure system then leave, head to the east, higher pressure taking over from the west. Rather than the Arctic, will make it sunny but reasonably mild, with temperatures near normal, at least through the weekend. Now, we'll talk about that 7-day forecast here and what's coming our way for our next snow chance on Monday. Starting tonight, 70% chance for more snow in Minnesota. Low temps, I think about 12 to 20. And then for Wisconsin and Michigan, 15 to 20 will be the low temps. And actually, for a few towns, we'll start to warm up overnight as warmer air comes aboard. Well, for tomorrow, we're going to shake off the snow chance in Wisconsin and Michigan around 9 o'clock, 30% chance. It'll continue until then. High temps mid-20s. Minnesota high temps 18 to 25 with a 40% chance for that morning snow. And then things start to clear up as higher pressure advances. And like I've been saying here, for the weekend, we'll have a bit of sunshine and high temps that could go from 20 to even 27 degrees. That's the start of a warming trend, Tony, that comes around by Monday, getting towards 30 both Monday and Tuesday. And that in combination with another low pressure system means our next chance for snow could come on Monday. Not getting a good feel of how much this time around, but of course, the standard promise holds.
Yeah.
We will track it.
We'll track it. Yeah, that's not a bad payoff after snow tonight and into Wednesday. Days in the 20s, quite a bit of sunshine. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, you know, our heating bills should stay reasonable thanks to that.
Sure should. Thanks, Dave. A Twin Cities family is grateful for a special moment after a difficult year for their mom struggling with memory loss. Marie Deeg spent decades in the hustle and bustle of a big family, raising 7 kids in Eagan. She now calls the fountains at Hosanna's Memory Care home during a year that has been filled with isolation. Her son came to visit her recently and asked her to play some Christmas music on the piano.
Our mom is failing with her memory and having trouble forming her words and struggles, but the moment she sits down and starts to play, the tunes, the songs, the words to the songs are just flow right off of her.
That's something else. A self-taught musician, Marie went on to play an afternoon concert of sorts. According to Fountain's executive director Julie Walton, music is one of the last things that dementia patients forget. Still to come on Live Local CBS3, across the pond, health experts reported a possible variant of COVID-19, where the variant has been seen in the States. Next.
CBS3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. You're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
At Miners National Bank of Evelyn, we know it takes knowledge, dedication, and teamwork to be the home loan experts. With over 115 years and 4 family generations, we have proven we have the experience to be the best in the business. For your first or next home loan, call the experts you can trust at Miners National Bank. Their teamwork is unmatched, and they will bump out any rough spots along the way. Make your house a home with Miners National Bank.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Who am I? Wow, is that really me?
They are some of the hottest videos on social media. Those videos claiming to instantly get rid of bags under your eyes. Well, this new year, you can celebrate knowing you look your best with Plexiderm. Lifestyle expert Annette Figueroa is here to tell us why she says this one is for real.
This one is for real, and I'm so excited. We even have a video that the viewers can watch while you and I talk. And you'll notice the model has bags underneath his eyes and some sagging, and all he uses is a small amount, and that's how easy it is.
All right, what's the active ingredient?
Okay, so it's silicates that are minerals found in shale rock. And what it does is it tightens and lifts the appearance of bags underneath your eyes in as little as 10 minutes, no prescriptions, and very little effort. And I did this to my father. We were at home, and we were screaming. 4 minutes, 34 seconds, completely gone.
My real true opinion is holy words I can't say on camera. These lines bother me. They really do. And this is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, I could feel it just lifting my skin. It feels great. Looks even better.
I'm Neela. I'm 61 years old. I'm a professional personal trainer. It's so important to be in good health and to be fit and take care of yourself. How it makes you feel inside is amazing. Plexiderm, seriously, it fixes all that. It makes you feel as good outside as you do inside. Honest to God, it's amazing. There's nothing there. Like, the bags are gone.
And not only does it work on the bags, it works on the appearance of crow's feet, fine lines, and wrinkles. So it targets all those problem areas.
So this would be a daily thing, or just when you want to, like, get rid of the bags? And
Yeah, it absolutely could be a daily thing. You have high school reunions, you have events you want to go to, you want to look years younger, this is it.
This new year is the best time to get Plexiderm for only $14.95 and see it work for yourself after your first application. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
Duluth Casino welcomes you back. COVID safety protocols are in place.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's check in with meteorologist Caitlin Moffitt this morning.
And the below average trend
Thanks so much for joining us. So wake up with us starting at 5 a.m.
Watch Caitlin and Jenna in the morning at 5 and 6 a.m. on CBS3. Watch Jeopardy at 4:30, followed by CBS3 Live at 5 on Live Local CBS3.
The first reported case of a COVID-19 variant first seen in the United Kingdom has now been discovered in the U.S. A Colorado man in his 20s is the first known person in the U.S. to be diagnosed with a new, potentially more contagious strain of coronavirus that was first detected in the UK last week. Officials say the patient has no travel history and is currently in isolation. Now, this news comes as some areas extend restrictions because of skyrocketing infection numbers. Some hospitals are also starting to ration care. Colorado officials will provide more information about the patient diagnosed with this new strain of the virus at a news conference tomorrow morning. Still ahead in sports, NBA action tonight. Kelly's got highlights coming up in just a bit.
Eye on Mining is brought to you by Iron Mining Association, Range Regional Airport, and Miners National Bank of Evelyn.
Imagine building your Range Regional Airport without the mining industry. Now, imagine air travel without mining. We couldn't imagine that either. Welcome to Range Regional Airport, serving and supporting the Iron Range.
I have something for you.
I have something for you, too.
It's the GMC season to upgrade. Now everyone can get GM employee pricing on most GMC models. Use it to get over $10,000 total value on this 2021 Sierra Denali.
Visit your Lake Country GMC dealer.
Heart attacks and strokes happen, even in the midst of COVID-19. And at least one will occur while you're watching this. Heart attacks and strokes are medical emergencies. If you experience symptoms of a heart attack or stroke, do not delay seeking care. Call 911 immediately. Hospitals are prepared and can safely treat you. Visit cdc.gov/coronavirus to learn more.
I don't think any other year is ever going to be like 2020. I never thought that I would go through something like this ever in my life. This pandemic's not a isolated thing to our country or to our state or to our city. This is something that's affecting the world. And that just shows really how interconnected we all are. And I think that's why news is so important, because news is kind of like that lifeline to kind of bring that information out and bring us all together.
Watch Jenna and Caitlin in the morning at 5 and 6 a.m.
It's really, really wavy that day.
You're the rudder, and I am the power.
Season 33 of Discover Wisconsin was the most anticipated season in our show's history. In a brand new 2-part special edition of Discover Wisconsin, our crew members give you a never-before-seen look behind the cameras.
I remember when we were done with that, I turned to our producer and said, "You better use this shot."
Don't miss the best of Season 33, Parts 1 and 2.
Imagine building your Range Regional Airport without the mining industry. Now, imagine air travel without mining. We couldn't imagine that either. Welcome to Range Regional Airport, serving and supporting the Iron Range.
Now, CBS3 Sports with Kelly Hinson.
Well, if there's one team that the Milwaukee Bucks want revenge against, it's the Miami Heat, after being bounced in the second round of the playoffs this past year. On top of that, Milwaukee was looking to bounce back from a blowout loss to the New York Knicks. And how's this for a response? A 12-0 start to the game. Brook Lopez there, 2 of his 14 points on the night. And this game was not close at any point. Dante DiVincenzo was 5 of 6 from downtown. There was no Jimmy Butler tonight, so take that for what it's worth. But it was raining at the American Airlines Center. Talk about a holiday season. Milwaukee hit an NBA record 29 threes. 144-97 is Milwaukee's widest ever margin of victory in a road game. The same two teams are back at it tomorrow. And the Timberwolves on late tonight out on the West Coast, taking on the LA Clippers. Still no Cat tonight with that wrist injury, but they came out hot anyways. Ricky Rubio, bingo. Let's just show all Ricky Rubio highlights from now on. Later in the first, how's this for a dime? Naz Reid right down Main Street. Wolves by 6. It stayed tight to open the second. Anthony Edwards, a.k.a. the funniest rookie ever, just as dialed in as the Bucks were tonight, starts out 3 of 4 from deep. Let's just bask in those highlights, because at the half, they're down by 20. Well, although Grandma's Marathon didn't get to hold their full slate of in-person races in 2020, they are targeting a return in 2021. As of today, registration is full to capacity. Although it's not their usual limit, the full and half marathons were capped at 4,000 entries, while the 5K was limited to 1,500. If you didn't get a chance to register just yet, but you still want to run, you do have some options.
Our charity partners are a great option. You sign up for one of our 15 charity partners to be partnered with them. You fundraise from now until race day, and if you hit your mark fundraising, you get a guaranteed free entry into the event of your choice in 2021. So it could be the full, the half, or the 5K.
They're also discussing expanding the current registration capacity. Schneider says the decision will come in the next month or so. Runners will still have the option to run virtually this year as well. To hockey today, the U.S. taking on the Czech Republic at World Juniors in Edmonton. No score in the second. Bobby Brink, the Denver Pioneer. U.S. goes up by 1. And there was no looking back. Trevor Zegras, the Duck Straff pick, makes it a 2-0 game. They would score 3 times in the second and 4 times in the third. The Americans improved to 2-0 and are top of Group B with Sweden. It may be a surprise to some of the NFL's regular season fans, but the season ends this Sunday. Despite playing through a pandemic, no games have been canceled, with only a handful of games rescheduled. Today, the league released their latest testing numbers. Between December 20th and December 26th, more than 41,000 tests were administered, which resulted in a total of 58 new confirmed positives, which breaks down to 21 player and 37 team personnel. Since testing began in August, nearly 900,000 tests have been administered. A week and a half following the conclusion of the NCHC bubble, the real world hockey begins this weekend. Well, due to a combination of positive COVID-19 tests, contact tracing, and quarantining within the Omaha hockey program, the North Dakota at Omaha series scheduled for this weekend has been postponed. Luckily, the series has been rescheduled for the last week in January down in Omaha. The decision to postpone the series is consistent with the conference's COVID-19 protocols. And as of this moment in time, SCSU UMD is still on the road this weekend. That's going to do it for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
Change the future of medicine from the convenience of home. Join the All of Us research program to help improve health research and speed up medical breakthroughs. Visit essentialhealth.org/allofus to learn more.
DBS, your all things basement-y company. Does your home have uneven or sloping floors? How about cracked drywall, stair-stepping cracks, or bowed basement walls? You may have a problem with your foundation. Call the specialists at DBS. They thoroughly inspect your property and provide a permanent solution to your foundation problem. We offer a fully transferable warranty, unmatched in our area. Contact DBS, your all things basement-y company, for a free, no obligation estimate. Call or visit us online. DBS, helping your family have a healthy, safe, and comfortable home.
Your students, your patients, your customers, your family. You've got a lot of people relying on you. And that's why you trust Mediacom. With 99.99% proven network reliability, Mediacom keeps your home and business running. We know when your internet works, your life works. So we work around the clock to ensure you get the most reliable connection possible.
Finally home.
Okay, let's go.
Come on.
Yeah.
Welcome to the final days of Toyotathon. Here for a great deal.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the wait is over.
Oh, Camry.
Yes.
Right now, during Toyotathon, you can get 0.9% APR financing for 60 months on a new 2021 Camry or 2021 RAV4.
You can get a great deal, too, at Toyotathon, but it all ends January 4th.
Toyota, let's go places.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right, because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign, not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
I don't think any other year is ever going to be like 2020. I never thought that I would go through something like this ever in my life. This pandemic's not a isolated thing to our country or to our state or to our city. This is something that's affecting the world. And that just shows really how interconnected we all are. And I think that's why news is so important, because news is kind of like that lifeline to kind of bring that information out and bring us all together.
Watch Jenna and Caitlin in the morning at 5 and 6 a.m.
Season 2 is here, y'all. And yes, I am in an eye patch. How much more, Kelly, can it
The
get?
Kelly Clarkson Show, weekdays at 3 on CBS3.
The Goats That Ate the Christmas Tree. Sounds like a story you might want to read to your kids this time of year, doesn't it? But on a family farm in Missouri, a couple raises dairy goats. This time of year, it's hard for them to pasteurize, so they feed them leftover Christmas trees. Their Facebook page calls it a gift you can give to a goat. Old Christmas trees can be dropped off at the farm, and the goats feast on festival furs and edible evergreens. According to their owners, Christmas trees have a lot of extra nutrients and vitamins like vitamin A and vitamin C, which they really appreciate this time of year. I don't know, Dave. I don't think I'd like to eat a prickly Christmas tree, even if it is loaded with vitamin A.
Yeah, those goats are incredible. You know, my wife and I were working the farmers market circuit. Always wanted to get some goats to clear off our lot, but we've given that up.
Yeah.
Instead, we're talking about snow. And our snow chance will last through tomorrow morning. 3 to 6 inches is possible, but it should clear up and not cool down through the weekend.
All right, thanks, Dave. Drive safe out there and have a great rest of your night.